Awesome. So on the left, we had help and training and where to start that we looked at. There's also this called learning resources.
Okay.
This, I want you to know it's there. These are resources developed by Alpine or by teachers. So here's one called Pointing Out Text During Reading. You can see how it was rated based on who's users. We can see who it's available or appropriate for, so early elementary and preschool. And then you can see at the top, we can also, let's say I only want to look up resources that are 5-star. Or I only want to look up resources that have to do with high school, which would be in your case.
Okay.
You can also add resources here.
Okay.
And the cool thing is, once you add a resource, you can assign it to a grade. So as I'm looking up a student, if I was looking up at a student who's in 10th grade and I look up their portfolio, it'll pull 10th grade standards, then 10th grade resources right under that kid. So any teacher will be able to see resources that you're uploading here.
Okay.
All the standards are also in Alpine now. So the very next one, if you hit standards, this is actually really cool. Let's look at 12th grade.
Okay.
Now, I want to look at college and career readiness anchor standards, and maybe key ideas and details. These are the standards. And this will link you back to the Learning Resource Center that'll show you resources that have to do with determining central ideas or themes under key details under career and college readiness.
Okay.
So anyone has access to the standards and resources. This will continue to be populated. It's a little sparse right now because they're working on it, so some may not have anything, but others have really great stuff, the ones that are probably more commonly used. So just so you know, that's the learning resources and standards and how they work. Utilities was what we looked at before, and I use this all the time. Again, I don't use ERT or the file match for much, but this middle file exchange is where you can upload anything.
Right.
You can upload PDFs, 504s. For example, I uploaded.
That's when I can share them.
Yep, and you can share them. So I did some spelling for PALS. So for Erie, I did spelling and I uploaded the document, and then I hit the share, like the people like we just did with the groups. Right. I shared it with Leslie Kesson, and then when she goes in, she sees this download button.
Okay.
I can also stop sharing it at any time, or I can delete it.
Okay.
So if I want to stop sharing something, let's say I send you a spreadsheet of your intervention groups, but then now it's a new semester. I want to send you a new one, and I don't want them to get confused. So I stop sharing the old one and share the new one.
Gotcha.
That's it. And at the bottom is where you upload it. I have a lot. So you would put a description in, you find your file, just like when you attach anything to Gmail. So it's really like a secure Google Doc.
Okay.
Or Google Drive, I mean.
Okay.
So you can be sending 504s that way. Let's go back to the home. And they can find them themselves. And they don't have to print it, it's always there. Just put it. Now the first tab on our dashboard, well, not dashboard, but the first tab of our tabs is called Favorites.
Yes.
Alpine took a page out of Facebook, I think, kind of. Anything that has a heart next to it, you can click on the heart and it'll show up here on your tabs.
Okay.
So I favorited things I look at often, custom spreadsheet tool, etc. Now let's say there's a student I do a lot of progress monitoring for, and his name is Smith, because that's my maiden name, and Jack Smith. Let's say I look at Jack Smith all the time. I favorite his page,
Okay.
and now when I'm back at home, there's the student folder for Jack Smith.
Okay.
So, because if I'm just doing stuff a lot with it and I don't want to keep finding it.
Now, can you put notes on Jack
I
like you would in IC?
don't think so.
Okay. So
I mean, we would
if
have
we're
to do that in
keeping
like,
notes on a kid, then
Yes.
it's better to keep it in IC than to put it on Alpine.
it depends what the notes are. If the notes are about like updating a 504 strategy, or updating an RTI strategy, or updating something like that, I would put it in APAS.
Okay.
It really depends what your notes are on. If you're, also in the fall we'll have tier 1 intervention, so if you're doing behavior and you have updated notes on behavior, I would put that in the APAS plan.
So how would I get to the APAS then?
Well, let's look.
Click on him and then.
I'd pull up Jack Smith, he may not have one. Oh, he does have plans.
Okay.
So here's state assessments, his data warehouse, and his
Yes,
plans.
yes.
Also, under this child, you have these headings.
Right.
This will pull up anything for Jack Smith. If I go up here and I pull PALS, it would pull up PALS but not for Jack. If I go here and pull up PALS, it's only going to pull up Jack's PALS.
Okay.
So here I could either click on student plans
Right.
here, or I can click down here and it's going to pull up We're not using these anymore, we're only using APAS.
Okay,
Or I could click portfolio and it's gonna PDF all his history.
okay.
And this'll have also data. So let's look and see,